What's up, YouTube? What's up, you boxing maniacs? Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, jab that like button, and let's get into it. It's all about sports TV. Chew that boxing sports TV. Chew that boxing news TV. Chew that boxing gonna come with the truth and bring you the news. So let's get into it once again. We're gonna talk about Errol Spence Jr. with his next fight coming up. It's either gonna be Manny Pacquiao or it's gonna be Danny Garcia. Manny Pacquiao wants to fight because Errol Spence just came off his car accident, and he said, what a better time to fight Errol Spence. He's been out of the game. He haven't had no tune-up fights. He's recovering from a bad, horrific car accident. So this is the best time to take the fight with Errol Spence. Errol Spence Jr. says, I'm not a tune-up type of guy fighter. I don't need a tune-up fight. Whoever wants it, bring it. And let's get it on. So it's either going to be Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao, because Pacquiao is calling Errol Spence out, saying let's sign a contract, let's get it on. Pacquiao think he has the advantage, like I said before, because of Errol Spence's horrific car accident, and he haven't had a fight since then. So Manny Pacquiao feels he'll be more dominant and he has the upper hand advantage. So we'll see. Now, there's Danny Garcia, DC, Danny Swift Garcia, Philadelphia fighter from Puerto Rico. Very dangerous counterpuncher. Very dangerous counterpuncher. And Danny Garcia is the best counterpuncher out there in the boxing game. Hands down. The boy got nice hands. He fought Danny Rios. Looked at terrible. Danny Rios was getting in his ass. But Danny Garcia came back with a counterpunch and knocked his ass out. I'm just saying. That's Danny Garcia for you. So, Terrence Crawford. My boy, Terrence Crawford. A lot of people's, should I say, he's the people's fan, the people's champ. WCO champion. He moved up to 147. He dominated everybody in the 140, so he moved up to 147. Terrence Crawford, bad boy. But, so, he says Danny Garcia can beat Errol Spence. Now, everybody know that styles make fights. Now, I can see why that Terrence Crawford says Danny Garcia will beat Errol Spence for two reasons. Like Chuck Woolery 2 and 2. One is that Terrence Crawford and Danny Garcia are 1-1. They need to do it again. You know, Danny Garcia beat him once. Terrence Crawford beat Danny Garcia once. So they're 1-1. They need to be fighting. So that's why I say that Terrence chose Danny Garcia over Errol Spence. He has ring experience with him. He kind of knows him a little bit in the ring. Danny Garcia, like I said before, very, very good counterpuncher, man. Styles make fight. He never been stopped. Never been stopped. Now, Errol Spence, on the other hand, he's a good fighter. He fought Mikey Garcia, which is Robert Garcia's bigger brother, little brother. Mikey Garcia is the little brother, and Robert Garcia is the bigger brother, and he also trains his little brother, Mikey. But when Mikey's in the fight game, he was cutting up at 140. He was dominating everybody. He had to move up to 147 because he was beating everybody up. You know, give Mikey his props. But when he moved up to 147 and fought Errol Spence dominated him. Just made him look bad, like go back down and wait. That had never been done to Mikey Garcia before. Style makes fights. He looked it real good. He put it on Mikey. He put it on Mikey. So, but when he fought Sean Porter, that was a dog fight. Earl Spence and Sean Porter was a dog fight. That fight could have went either way to me until Earl Spence caught Sean and Sean dropped down to one knee and touched the ground with his glove. Got dropped. Got right back up, started fighting again, but he got dropped. That was a dog fight. So I say all that to say this. Styles may fight. Danny Garcia is a counter puncher. Earl Spence is a smart fighter. I don't think he'll be in a dog fight with Danny Garcia. I think he'll use his skills. Like Mikey Garcia said, when I fought Earl Spence, it wasn't the size, it wasn't the weight, it was his skills. I couldn't get next to him. I couldn't get his timing down. I mean, his skill set was so good, I just couldn't get next to him. Mikey Garcia even turned his back to him. Like, man, I can't take this no more. So, I'm just saying, styles make fights. So, I guess what I'm trying to say, if Danny Garcia can stop Earl Spence, that'll be the biggest upset ever. Earl Spence is undefeated. Danny Garcia is a dangerous fighter. To stop Earl Spence, his stats will shoot up, skyrocket. The boy will be nice. Earl Spence stops Danny Garcia, who Danny Garcia never been stopped. Earl Spence is looking like the boogeyman of boxing. So, it's going to be Pacquiao or Danny Garcia. Those two are gunning for Earl Spence. That's coming up real soon. That's pretty much all I have for you guys on that fight, but I favor Earl Spence over Danny Garcia. Even though Danny Garcia is a very, very dangerous fighter, I'm not calling him out, saying it's going to be an easy fight. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia, former champion, the boy is bad, the boy is dangerous. You better be on your A game when you're fighting Danny Garcia. So, but I'm leaning more to Earl Spence to win this fight. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys, man. Just, getting back into the fight game, and you guys need to know the truth on what's going on, so let me bring it. I'm on to the next. No boxing, no life. Peace out. Don't forget to hit that bang. Well, don't bang, because this ain't no banging station. Don't forget to jab that like and subscribe. Deuces.